We have had enough of Taylor Swift for now.
She shouldn't be liberal. She should be a total conservative, given everything.
The Pentagon PSYOP unit pitched NATO on turning Taylor Swift into an asset.
Yesterday, she flew private from New York City to Baltimore. Yet she constantly talks about climate change. So just please don't believe everything Taylor Swift says. We're all begging you.
I think she should just stick to her singing and let her love life be what it is.
The New York Times just speculated she's a lesbian.
A new poll shows 18% of voters are likely to vote for whichever candidate Taylor Swift endorses.
Biden effectively has Taylor Swift as his VP.
A single post of hers led to 35,000 new registrants. That's arguably more power than the president.
She's sharing links. And her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, sponsored by Pfizer.
What's her stance on policy, economic policy, foreign policy?
I don't think that'll be.
So don't get involved. Don't get involved in politics. We don't want to see you there.
The geniuses over at the Fox Propaganda Network have had the incredible idea to go to war with the most popular celebrity in the world. Yes, that was a couple of clips, a compilation of all the attacks that MAGA was making on Taylor Swift at the height of the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce excitement about their relationship during and after the Super Bowl, when MAGA was criticizing the happy couple because, I don't know, they both supported vaccines and Travis Kelce drank Bud Light and Taylor Swift endorsed Joe Biden in 2020, and MAGA just lost their mind over it. But that was a couple of months ago, and it seemed like their hatred for the most famous person in the world had died down a bit, but it's starting back up. Yes, Fox News has decided to go after Taylor Swift again in just the most ridiculous way because she is on the verge, on the precipice. A lot of people think, including her Swiftie fans, that Taylor Swift is about to endorse Kamala Harris, which would be a historic and impactful endorsement that could potentially move this election so far out of reach for Donald Trump that he would just never recover. And that sounds amazing to me. But before we go any further, I want to provide a little bit of context by reading a snippet from an article that'll explain a little bit more. Social media users and fans of the pop megastar Taylor Swift are speculating whether the singer has endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris for the 2024 U.S. election in a recent Instagram post. Now, in this post, you can see to the right of Swift someone who looks like the outline of Kamala Harris, and although it is just one of Taylor's backup dancers, many are speculating that that is a subtle endorsement of Kamala Harris.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the New York Democrats channel. Today we are diving into a particularly chaotic and frankly entertaining episode of Donald Trump campaign ongoing drama. If you have not seen it yet, buckle up. This is going to be wild ride.
Now, fans of Taylor Swift know that there's always breadcrumbs, there's always a little bit of a lead up, there's hints and clues along the way before she makes a big announcement. And as we are preparing and speculating that she will soon be endorsing Kamala Harris, fans think that those could be some of those hints that Taylor Swift always puts out. And because of that, Fox News is losing their mind, knowing how important this endorsement would be to Kamala Harris and how damaging it would be to Donald Trump. And Fox host Harris Faulkner just could not contain herself and got so upset and started yelling at Taylor Swift and instantly regretted it. But let's check out this clip.
Good reporting. I think two things about this. The tickets are extremely expensive to go see her. I know, because you know my Bella's 16th birthday, that's what she wanted. She's a huge Taylor Swift fan. And if we're going to pay that much money as consumers, you don't need to serve up politics for that. It's divided us as such a nation. Why can't you go to a concert without that? She can vote any kind of way she wants. She can talk about it off stage. But when people pay to see you, just perform. And by the way, I mean, this is just my take on that picture. If you're a backup dancer, why are you in a suit? I mean, you can see that that's a blazer and those are pants.
Like, a guy.
That's whoever it is wearing a suit. And I don't know, maybe is there a song where she sings, I went to the corporate office? Like, I don't know.
Now, one, Harris, I don't think your daughter will be really happy that you are trashing her favorite singer on national television. That seems like a mistake. Not going to tell you how to parent, but I'm just saying. And secondly, I think it's so funny, and this is exclusively a Fox News thing, that MAGA always attacks a celebrity when they make a political statement. Now, a political statement isn't an outright endorsement. Sometimes, Travis Kelce saying that getting vaccinated is important and it protects people and it can help save lives. MAGA lost their mind over that. Of course, they could not control themselves when Colin Kaepernick was protesting police brutality in this country. And they always have the same thing. They say, keep politics out of sports, keep it out of pop culture, out of music. But they have no problem with Kid Rock performing at the RNC. They have no problem with MAGA athletes or Republicans who want to speak out in the NFL or in popular culture, actors. They don't care. They're fine with that. Harrison Butker, they couldn't get enough of him, the Chiefs kicker who made horribly misogynistic comments. They loved him and encouraged him to speak up. And so I find it so funny that Taylor Swift potentially endorsing Kamala Harris has them so riled up and attacking celebrities who want to use their platform to advocate for someone like Kamala Harris who is trying to move our country forward. I just find it to be so hypocritical. But again, there's nothing more MAGA than hypocrisy. We see this all the time. But it's clear why they are so afraid of Taylor Swift, why they're trying to go to war with her. Well, actually, it's not clear why they want to go to war with the most popular person in America, but it is understandable why they are so afraid. And I want to read a little bit of an article that talks about the impact that Swift's endorsement could have. The singer-songwriter's influence seems to be growing among Trump supporters as well, albeit less so than among Biden supporters. In January of 2024, 13% of Trump 2020 voters said they'd be more likely to vote for a Democratic candidate endorsed by Swift. That number only rose to 16% this month. So clearly, Taylor Swift carries a huge weight with her endorsement. This could really move the race, a race that is already becoming a little bit out of reach for Donald Trump. I absolutely love that. But it's not just a political endorsement that could swing things. We saw Taylor Swift on National Voter Registration Day post an Instagram story, just an Instagram story, not a long video, not a huge call to activism. I'm not downplaying it, but just saying it was just a small Instagram story telling people to register to vote. And it was one of the biggest days of voter registration in history. There were tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people alone who were registering from that link that Taylor Swift posted. And that, of course, drove MAGA wild because young people registering to vote somehow upsets them. Democracy, people using their voice, upsets MAGA. And I think that tells us everything we need to know about MAGA. But, again, they attacked Taylor Swift and they got so upset. And one of my favorite claims that was made, one of these attacks against Taylor Swift, came from a ridiculous Newsmax host who said this.
Wow, the whole world is talking about Taylor Swift. I like Taylor Swift. I like the song called Style. I like the song where she's complaining about her boyfriend who lied to her. I like the song where she complains about the boyfriend who dumped her. I like the song about the girlfriend who let her down on the big night. She was expecting all the support at the party. I kind of have a problem, though, with the hardcore Taylor Swift fans. They are totally over the top, worshiping this woman. Have you seen any of the pictures of her in concert? I wouldn't go myself. I don't do that kind of thing anymore. But I think what they call it is they're elevating her to an idol, idolatry. This is a little bit what idolatry, I think, looks like, and you're not supposed to do that. In fact, if you look it up in the Bible, it's a sin. So I don't like that.
This is MAGA hypocrisy all over again. So this Newsmax host wants to claim that Taylor Swift's fans who enjoy her music idolize her and they're in a cult because they like a singer. But the person defending Donald Trump who has a MAGA cult is making these claims? That seems a little hypocritical to me. Of course, that's what MAGA is. But to mock this, The Recount put together a hilarious video showing just how committed MAGA is to their cult and praising Donald Trump as if he was Jesus. We just have to check it out.
On June 14th, 1946, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God gave us Trump.
The Democrats and the fake news media want to constantly talk about, oh, President Trump is a convicted felon. Well, you want to know something? The man that I worship is also a convicted felon.
You think about Jesus Christ himself. Everybody went against him because he was preaching love and doing what was right for the people. And Trump's doing what's right for this nation. And because he's doing that, everybody is against him.
He's cast himself as a martyr, compared himself to Jesus.
Just thank God for President Trump. He's the hands and feet of Jesus.
If you didn't think that they were in a cult before, I hope you do now. And it's so funny to me that MAGA will attack us for pointing out that they're in a cult, to pointing out that MAGA is a cult. And in the same breath that they're saying, no, we're not in a cult, they'll say we're only attacking them because Donald Trump is a savior. It's they just don't get it. The MAGA mindset is so real. And that's why more so than just Kamala Harris's huge surge in the polls being exciting for me. I'm so excited that right now, and of course we don't want to get caught up in polls. We want to continue to work like we're behind. But Kamala Harris's surge in the polls not only excites me because it shows her up and shows her climbing and shows her on her way to the White House, but 5 to 10% of Republicans in every poll I see are supporting Kamala Harris. Now, that isn't just exciting because it's going to help her win. It's exciting because it's bringing the country together. Kamala Harris is slowly deprogramming MAGA, getting them to move away from Donald Trump, to break out of the MAGA mindset and realize that we can have a country that isn't about hate and division and revenge. We can have a country that is joyful in the work of governing, joyful and moving us forward. Building literal and figurative bridges, compromising isn't easy, but it's something that we can do. And when we do it together, it can move our country forward. And that's what Kamala Harris is about. She is forward thinking while Donald Trump is in the past. And that's why we're not going back, because we're not going back to a time of division and chaos and, frankly, failed policies in Donald Trump's administration. We're going forward with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And if you are as well, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you are joining what we are building on this channel, and leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Really goes a long way, and the support means the world to me. And until next time, I'll see you soon.
Trump press conference are a joke. Just because he answered a question does not mean he is providing answer. His response are vague, misleading, and often outright false. The media needs to start holding him accountable, and we need to focus on the actual success of the Biden-Harris administration. That wraps up today's episode. Thanks for tuning into the New York Democrats channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can never miss an update. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we will see you next time for more important discussion and analysis. Until then, take care and keep fighting for progress our community. God bless America. Goodbye.